Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar entitled The Future of Customer Success Management, Enhancing Efficiency and Experience with AI. I'm Sam Tamayo, Ribbonfish's Managing Director for Manila, and I will be your moderator for this event. This afternoon, we've got a lot lined up for our attendees as our esteemed panelists have prepared in-depth insights, detailed walkthroughs, and meaningful case studies that we can all learn from. So as we all know, this initiative is a collaboration between Ribbonfish and That's IT. So this session will be divided into 5 segments, wherein participants will have a chance to ask questions later. So please, if you have any queries or thoughts that you'd like to share, please feel free to use the chat box at the right-hand side of your screens. So now, before we formally begin, let's first meet our speakers for this afternoon. Starting off with Ribbonfish's very own senior consultant. Naim, would you mind introducing yourself?
Thanks, Sam. Hi, I'm Naimuddin. I'm a Salesforce consultant and I work closely with clients to understand, refine, and transform their business process into scalable technological systems. My experience spans a wide range of industries, from banking and manufacturing to publishing. In short, I'm a jack of all trades with deep specialism in Salesforce and AI.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Naim. Up next, Jack, please say a few words about yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm one of the co-founders of IT Care Center. I'm the CTO and the CISO, and I'll be happy to answer any questions when we get to the demo part.
Amazing. Can't wait. Last but not the least, Jack, please introduce yourself.
That would be me, Michal. Thanks, Sam. That's okay. I'm the COO of That's It, and I've been with the company since 2017, and I had the pleasure of growing with the company and with the product and help the way we work with our customers, and I'm very excited to be here today.
Amazing. So now that we've gotten to know our panelists, it's time to delve into how AI impacted customer success management. So for this matter, I'd like to direct my questions to Michal. First off, based on your observations, how has AI transformed the customer success support landscape in recent years?
Thanks, Sam. For that purpose, I'd be happy to share my screen, if that's okay. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yep, can see it.
Great. So full disclosure, before I start, I sound like this today because I've got a cold. Apparently, AI can improve customer support, but not my immune system, not yet anyway. But speaking of things that AI is changing, when I think about how much the world of work has changed in just the past 5 years, it is, I think, incredible. It started with COVID, which basically pushed us into remote work almost overnight. And just as we started getting used to that, AI came in and brought a whole new kind of change. We're still at the beginning of understanding how big its impact is, but it's already clear that it's making a difference, especially when it comes to customer support. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today, how AI is transforming customer support. But before we jump into how AI is changing customer support, I want to take a step back and give a bit of context. So AI is often seen as the next big thing, but if we look at how quickly technology has been adopted over time, it's clear that AI is following the same pattern, only much faster. Let's look at how long it took other major technologies to reach what we call mass adoption, that point where about 25% of the population is using them. So look at this, electricity, 46 years, telephone, 35 years, radio and TV, 30 years each. And then things started speeding up. Personal computer took 16 years, mobile phone 13, and the internet only 7 years to hit that same milestone. So when we think about AI, we're not talking about some distant future. We're right in the middle of it. And the pace of adoption is only accelerating. Now that we've looked at how fast technology adoption has accelerated, let's talk about something even more impressive, how quickly AI is taking off. This chart you're seeing here, it shows the adoption curves for platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, and Netflix. But the standout here is ChatGPT. And if you look at the red line right here, that's ChatGPT. It's not even a curve, if you see. It's not like the others. It's basically a straight line, straight up. That here we can see just how fast it took off. No slow build-up, no gradual adoption, just instant growth. It reached 1 million users in just 5 days. For comparison, Facebook took 10 months, Twitter over 2 years, and ChatGPT in just 2 months hit 100 million users, making it the fastest growing app ever. Why does this even matter for customer support? Because it shows that people are ready to use AI and not in the future. Right now, they're embracing AI. Let's take a quick trip through the history of customer support. And trust me, we've come a long way. So going back to the 90s, support meant calling a help desk, waiting on hold forever, and hoping that someone could figure it out. If they couldn't, you were stuck with a dusty FAQ or a printed manual, if you could even find it. And then came the early 2000s, and things started to shift. The 2000s brought us rule-based chatbots. They were helpful-ish. So as long as you asked exactly the right question, they had a script for it. But if not, you were moved straight to a human being. And a self-service portal, they were static, they were not very smart, and definitely not fun. Moving fast forward to 2010s, the real shift came around where AI-powered assistant started understanding what we actually meant. It's not just what we type. If you remember, voice assistants like Siri, Alexa joined the parties, and bots started learning from past tickets to offer real help. And today, in 2020s, we're seeing AI take things to a whole new level. So AI is smarter, it's faster, and way more helpful. It personalizes answers, it picks up on the tone, it works across all channels, whether it's email, whether it's bot, whether it's a self-service portal. It even predicts what you need. And specifically in IT help desk, it's auto-categorizing tickets, it's routing them to the right agent, it's saving both agents and customers a lot of time and frustration. So let's take a quick look at some of the biggest challenges customer support has faced and how AI is already helping solve them. Let's start with the first challenge, the long wait times. So we've all been there. Of course, all of you are familiar with that problem. You submit the ticket and then you just wait. Usually support teams are swamped, the customer end up frustrated. But with AI, things like basic questions or routine issues get handled instantly. There's no queue, no delay. And because it's available 24/7, then help is always just a click away. The second challenge would be the inconsistent service, where sometimes the answer you'd get actually depends on which agent you talk to. AI helps by keeping information up to date. It guides the agent with the right suggestions in real time, so the answer stays consistent and accurate. Now, the third challenge is the repetitive inquiries. A lot of support time, if you want to be honest, is spent on simple, repetitive stuff like maybe password resets. AI would handle these quickly and accurately. It would free up the human agents and would allow them to focus on the more complex issues that really need empathy. And the last challenge I'm talking about is the lack of personalization. So usually human agents, they will not have context, and they would provide generic answers where AI remembers past interactions. They know the customer history, and they give responses that feel personal. And you'll actually be able to see it in the demo that Jack will be doing in a few minutes. So now that we've seen the main pain points, let's talk about why AI, what AI, actually does, and why it's making such a big difference in support. So AI does not sleep, it doesn't take coffee breaks, and it's there 24/7. It handles the simple stuff instantly, and for more complex cases, it knows exactly who to send it to based on urgency, topic, or even the customer's mood. The result would be quicker resolution, less frustration, and yes, lower workload for your team. AI remembers past conversations. It knows the customer's history, and it responds in a way that actually feels personal and not robotic. And if it senses someone's getting frustrated, it can pass things to a real agent with all the context. So the handoff is smooth and empathetic. Whether someone contacts support via chat, email, phone, AI keeps the experience consistent and accurate. And even better, it can spot patterns. It can flag issues before they become problems. Imagine your system telling a customer, hey, we noticed something may be wrong. Here is how to fix it. That's the next level support. So by automating repetitive tasks and reducing ticket values, AI can lower support costs in a big way without sacrificing quality. Less time per ticket, fewer escalation, more time for your team to focus on what actually matters. So if I want to sum this up, AI isn't just some futuristic idea. It's already changing the way we do support. It's faster, it's smarter, it's more personalized, and yes, it's helping to reduce costs too. And at the end of the day, it's about creating a better experience, both for customers and for the teams supporting them. And in just a moment, you'll see what it looks like in real life. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Sam.
Wow, thank you so much, Mikal, for sharing such thought-provoking and well-researched ideas. And with that caliber of insights, it's hard to believe that this session is just getting started. So at this point, we'll be doing a deep dive on AI to see how it is transforming customer success. So Naim, can you please tell us a little bit about Ribbonfish's AI Accelerator and how does it work exactly?
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Hope you can see.
Naim, would you like me to share the slides?
I think that.
Ah, there we go.
Cheers, Sam. So yeah, the Ribbonfish AI Accelerator. At Ribbonfish, we believe AI can be a powerful asset for organizations, helping improve efficiency and ultimately enhancing customer success. But, and this is important, it needs to be implemented with intention. You've got to understand how your organization can truly benefit from AI rather than applying it in a generic one-size-fits-all way. Every organization is unique in how it operates and connects with customers. AI shouldn't be any different. One of the most common questions we hear from our clients is, where do I even start with AI? The truth is, many people often either feel paralyzed by too much choice or overwhelmed by all of the hype. That's where our AI Accelerator comes in. It's a structured, low-risk way for businesses to explore AI quickly, safely, and with purpose. It's all about testing ideas in a controlled environment before committing. So how does it work? To help organizations accelerate, AI adoption is delivered to help organizations accelerate AI adoption and deliver tangible results through our tailored program. We have broken it down into 3 stages. Stage 1 would be prep. We kick things off by understanding the challenges and exploring how AI can help. In this stage, we define the use cases. So our AI experts will have a look at how your business works and define the use cases. And then we'll prepare an SOW to outline what we will deliver over our sprints. The second part would be the development. Development usually happens in 2-week blocks. We like to do this to keep it short and iterative. And this is where we build features collaboratively. We'll run show and tell sessions throughout the process as well. And this involves demoing the work and gathering your thoughts and feedback along the way. This way, you're fully involved in shaping the outcome and not just there for the ride. This iterative approach lets us fine-tune the solutions and ensuring we're aligned with your goals. At the end of the phase, we'll present the full picture, showcasing all the developed features. And lastly, we have the review. So we'll then review the outcomes with you and help shape strategy for implementing the AI solutions across your organization. And the best part is this process is lightweight and low commitment on your part. You can see the results and see the real business impact before committing. So now I'll run you through some of the outcomes that we've had, our wins, you could say. One of our wins from our AI Accelerator is Sales Buddy. Now, Sales Buddy can save you time by taking your structured, messy meeting notes into clean CRM records using AI. So essentially, we can accept the input through maybe a custom site. So you can see in the screenshot here is where I can paste my notes from my meeting. And what Sales Buddy will do is it will take the information and it will put it into a CRM structured record or records. This way, sales spend less time updating the CRM and more time selling. And you can reduce missed follow-ups and even improve data quality. So the idea is you paste in your notes, and then you can see in my next slide that we've taken the notes, such as the name, the email, and even the phone number, as well as information about the opportunity itself, and placed it in this temporary record screen. And at this point, you can edit anything. So again, we're not only leveraging AI to take care of some of the heavy lifting, we're also giving you an opportunity to validate what our Sales Buddy has processed for you. We also have features for existing products that we have. So, we do practice what we preach. So again, Tagit is a product that we already have, and it allows customers to categorize and segment any record in the CRM, and then allowing you to take meaningful action. So what we have done is we've added 2 new features, allowing customers to automatically tag contacts. For example, your contact may have other activity records. Again, we can leverage that information and automatically tag, saving work for the user. We also have leverage AI to suggest contacts to pitch to. So again, leveraging the information you already have in your CRM, such as the product metadata or even previous interactions with past campaigns and key attributes. So taking all of this information and essentially, suggesting contacts you can pitch to. We can see we have a question as well. Where do you think companies often go wrong when trying to implement AI in their customer service process? I think a lot of the time, I don't know if that's towards me, but I'll give it a go. So often I find customers tend to go with a generic one-size-fits-all, is what I've seen. And again, I think, it's great to see examples and paste them in for a quick implementation, but I think you get the real value out of it when you intentionally apply AI to your business, and that way you can provide a frustration-free experience for your customers. And lastly, again, we have another tool, and this is our submission analyzer. Essentially, this is a pre-screening tool that leverages AI to help our customers process journal submissions quickly. So essentially, what we do is we use a large language model to scan the document, and again, it could be any document, so it's not specifically for journal submissions. This could be applied to any process that requires a document to be processed. And what our tool does is we've integrated a few key parts here. So one would be warning flags. Again, the AI can look out for potential issues. And again, we have the quality rating. So again, analyze the quality based on parameters defined by you. And we also have suggested amendments, again, having a look at what has been provided and giving feedback. And lastly, which is taking all of this one step further, is taking what we've assessed with the document and dictating post-processing steps. So yeah, that's that part. And yeah, I'll pass it back to you, Sam.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Naim. It will surely be exciting to see how Ribbonfish's AI Accelerator will be evolving in the coming weeks and months. And of course, ITCC also has its own innovations when it comes to this field. So Jack, would you mind doing a quick walkthrough of your latest AI-powered smart features?
Yeah, sure. I'll just start my screen sharing. I'm good to go. Can you see my screen? Okay, Sam, can I get started, or are you able to see my screen clearly?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'll try to give the basics of how we embed AI capabilities within our ITSM platform. I'm aware that not all of you are familiar or yet a customer of IT Care Center, so I'll just provide the context and the orientation accordingly. So feel free to stop me for any questions if needed. So going back to the customer experience, right? So our common customer end user could be, again, either an internal employee trying to reach an IT for assistance, or going to his facilities colleagues to get different assistance. And for that, we traditionally add, of course, some smart searches. For instance, when the employee would like to submit a ticket, then just based on some keywords, you can get a suggestion to get, let's say, a new snapshot of an existing server, or just to decommission another server. So those traditional searches, relational searches, let's say, would address him to the correct and give him a better experience. Now with AI, we try to, of course, embed it, and it continues to evolve, and we provision more and more capabilities. So for instance, within the same portal, again, whether it's an IT portal, HR portal, or your own department, once you provision it, you may have, let's say, a brief description of your problem. So not just a relational traditional search. So let's say my emails are out of sync. Okay, and again, I can misspell it, of course. So the AI engine, of course, based on machine learning models, will, again, regardless my keywords or any, but just based on my description, will of course suggest either knowledge articles that could solve my problem. And here, of course, I could provide some feedback that will even improve the learning model to suggest to the next customers the same, or to strengthen the relevance of this article. Or alternatively, go and submit an Outlook ticket to my IT colleagues, and that, of course, will route to the correct team. And that traditionally, again, many customers would have mistakenly picked the wrong categorization, or being frustrated that they need to pick up all those categorizations. So briefly describe your issue and get a solution. So that's just an example how we embed it within our, again, multi-tenant portals. And the main, I think the main place that we embed and enrich and, of course, promote is all our bot capabilities. So this is a very configurable, very flexible bot that can involve, of course, combine AI capabilities, but also some scenarios and simple questions or step-by-step guidelines. I'll try to show some real use cases. But the main thing is, of course, it's always context-based. So if I'm within the IT portal and I'm an end user, I'll immediately get a suggested note that says, we already know you have an old PC, so maybe you want to submit a renewal. Alternatively, if I'll jump to my HR portal, in that case, I'll get a different context. We know you have pending approvals, or of course we already know that you have some queue pending for you. So would you like to review them? And again, any context can be related to the individual. It can be, of course, related to information that we already know on that specific user, customer, about his profile, department, his age in the company. All those, of course, qualifiers may enrich the experience and provide proactive suggestions even before the end user will start challenging that bot. And I will do that, of course, in a few seconds. So if I'm just jumping to the facilities portal, I already get a notice that says, okay, we know we already have a scheduled repair. You can, of course, read to it, see the information, or just send me a reminder to my Outlook calendar. So again, if that helps, it will be landing in your inbox. If not, you can go and create a ticket for us. So if, of course, wait a couple of seconds, I'll get this invite. I can just respond or accept, and then it's automated into my, of course, my working Outlook or any other email client. So those suggestions are a key success factor. Of course, the individual, of course, will go and try to challenge that. So let's say I do want to renew my PC, so I'll just need to provide some simple description. It's to all. And again, here, based on routing rules, of course, based on workflow predefined by the admins, it will be, of course, even can provide an automatic renewal or a scheduled installation to his calendar. And then eventually, of course, he could log into that request, try to escalate it, see more information, and obviously the IT team will get all the information gathered through the conversation eventually, so they can drill to the ticket while they try to resolve it or provide the fix or the new installation, and see all the correspondences, and of course take it from here. But that, again, those are more personalized and more, let's say, context-based suggestions that are automated. We do use, of course, language models in the background. We'll pause at some point and open it up for questions. There are a lot of various implementation options. But again, let's continue with the end user or the customer, internal or external customer experience and his capabilities and his self-service capabilities. And then we'll jump a bit to the agent side. So the fulfillers, the support fulfillers, how they can, of course, utilize and leverage on AI capabilities. Some more stuff. Let's see, nice stuff. For example, I'll try this AI assistance and just randomly say that my active sync is not working. Here, you know what? Let's try. Okay, let's do the same. Let's do two scenarios. The one will be active sync. So I got my mouse jumping. Okay, so in that case, IT Care Center already searched within the knowledge base. Knowledge base, of course, is a dedicated model in our platform. It can be a standalone enriched. It can be integrated with content management systems like Confluence and so forth. And user on the right, when he, of course, describe his challenge, request, or issue, he will already get some knowledge articles based, of course, on the same machine learning capabilities, and of course also using some deep learning and deep search within the document. So if that document was uploaded in advance, of course, it's a PDF user guide. Again, could be something generic or something written in the organization by the IT staff. Again, provide the feedback, because feedback is always supporting and enriching and empowering the language model and the machine learning capabilities. And again, if it's not helpful, then we move on to our IT assistants. At that point, while it does of course, the AI search, I'll explain that here we can connect to any language model. Our preferred and recommended connector is using a private LLM, which is the preferred organization choice, where it's, of course, segregated from all customers. You can use your own Azure OpenAI or Azure tenant restrictions, whitelisting. You can make it, of course, very sensitive and very secured. And again, we can talk more about those connectors. And in that case, if my knowledge article did not help, I got a response from the AI model. For example, let's do a step-by-step trying. Go to all those challenges, and then effectively, of course, I can mention it's not sufficient, not helpful, and again, go and submit the ticket. And at that point, of course, we already know what's your description. We can classify it automatically or ask the user to classify it manually. And again, those additional questions are optional based on the language model itself. And nice thing is when AI started innovating and, of course, adding string analysis. So, for example, image analysis. And so for that, let's take just, again, a screenshot. Just try to illustrate one of those screenshots. So, for example, I get an error that looks like that. And our internal customer can try this button that will just enable him to upload a screenshot. Optionally, provide this challenge or just keep it blank, how to fix this error. Again, I'm just mistyping things. And at that point, a few things will happen. Again, one algorithm will just analyze the text out of the image, right? So we can see the response. It says, we found that your error message, again, I just uploaded a screenshot, and it analyzes that the text says that you're not able to add the map of the network drive because you don't exist in that specific domain. And now, instead of a knowledge article or just a ticket, we get even a more improved or a step-by-step guide that will just lead me to the solution based on simple questions that, of course, an admin can configure by himself, and we'll see that soon. So based on my Windows version, I can try to challenge any of those testing, and eventually leading to the exact solution, and obviously provide his feedback and learn from it. So that last part is of course, a much better user experience. Of course, it's much more digital. Instead of course, routing the end user to 1,000 pages article and just try to resolve it by himself. So that's, again, the ultimate experience. The user just asks a question. it gets an answer, just uploads the screen, gets an answer, analyzed by a screenshot, and then not only providing him a way to create a ticket to the correct group, but also to lead him step by step to his resolution, and of course get the final confirmation for that. Let's see if we have some questions before I go further. Okay, a chatbot can be frustrating. I definitely agree. I think in two steps, we'll get to the what we call the supervised learning, and how you can design it to be of course, avoiding loops, avoiding frustrations. So we'll see that in few seconds. I'm just taking the note. Okay, I saw no other questions. So now, again, before we jump into the back end of those things, let's see a bit how the agent, of course, the customer support fulfiller, whether it's an IT support, HR support, each one of them, of course, can also utilize AI capabilities. So, for instance, this would be my working board. This is my, of course, all my tickets, all my prioritize, and then sometimes I get many, of course, I can get a bit confused of what is more, what has higher priority, whether it's a VIP, whether it's an urgent or a class automatically classified severity, high severity, and the bot here, of course, can assist me to prioritize. It can also try to suggest. Let's say you can try to suggest a different priority than what I selected or filtered, or just even provide some automated actions. So, for example, jump into your escalated or to your top severity one. Can do the filter for me, of course. If I'll deep dive to a specific ticket, other, of course, than all the notes, the SLA, which sometimes, again, could be a lot of correspondences, could be a lot of confusing information. Again, whether we capture many questions from the user or the end user or the customer. Eventually, I can just hit an analyze ticket that will go through all the notes, the customer information. We'll just provide a comprehensive summary. So we see that this customer already has so many tickets. So I'm suggesting you just either merge them, cancel them, or go one by one and review maybe their duplicates. And we see that you're good with the SLA. So no need to pay attention to see all your SLA indicators, what else needs to be done. And again, that's of course based on what we already have in that ticket. But ultimately, let's go to even a major problem, let's say a major problem ticket that in that case, I don't need only some summary or simple suggestions from the platform, but I would even want to use GenAI to provide and help me improve my classification or my root cause analysis or even my resolution. So, for instance, if I try to either compose a new article or a new resolution, most cases are just install new driver, let's say, and restart your PC. And again, I could, of course, go on and provide more information. And if I'm not satisfied, of course, from my, again, composing or my user, let's say, user culture, I can use all those pre-configured AI connectors that will do an AI, a Gen AI in that case will just generate a step-by-step guide, let's say, for based on my brief description. If I'm happy with that, I can use that, amend that, add more screenshots, and eventually, of course, send the correspondence resolution to the customer. So I can even utilize Gen AI to help our agents not only to summarize their tickets, to help them prioritize them, but also to compose a structured, comprehensive resolutions, articles, and again, utilize quite a common AI capabilities. Before I jump to the admin side, let me see if we have more pending questions. Okay. Got it from Ori. Okay, multiple languages. Okay, we'll start from previous question that says, okay, how AI could be, not frustrating. How can we make it, let's say, the main thing is to what I learned again from my vast experience in IT is that if we need to improve something, we need to measure it, right? So everything comes with the measurements in IT Care Center. So AI and the bot capabilities are basically, of course, coming with some predefined metrics. We know what could work. We can even drill to live sessions or even review get our feedbacks, see wherever we have a negative feedbacks, we can learn from it. That's what we call the supervised learning. So the basic thing is to measure and even do it like a routine or periodic routine by the owner of that practice or that initiative, and just once we learn and measure our capabilities, again, it could be biometrics using different customer different bots. What are the kind of resolution? What are the major? We can see some metrics about the best resolutions provided and what are working within which departments, different time zones. Once we learn, right, um, we can adjust and improve the model. That says that has multiple ways to do. So first is we can control everything within the conversation. So for instance, my chatbot that I started with, it's just a simple structured conversation tree, which I can easily administrate. And in that case, decide whether I want to gather more information about the user, maybe as an age asset, what's the country, what's the time zone for him, get more individual information. And even before it starts challenging the AI, we can provide those suggestions like I just demonstrated about his HPC or maybe SLA bridges, right? So if we will get those individual or personalized suggestions, will of course even not reach the language model that can provide. I do agree in some cases if we don't tune it or train it appropriately, it may provide insufficient answers. So first, key about the frustration question is to able to control, and we definitely, as you see, we can control each step. We can provide screenshots, gather more information, provide more use cases, and even automate actions using the API processor right here. So every step is controlled. And even the language model is just a simple step which I can control which departments use which model, right? So I wouldn't like to mix HR questions with IT questions. And again, that will, of course, reduce the frustration if I'll get better answers, whether I train it, whether I tune it, or whether I just configure it to use a different model for each domain, let's say, or department, then I will get better answers. So that's more of another capabilities how we can control everything. Next question is the reduction of IT support tickets, and that's of course I think it goes without saying. I mean, the more we automate, and of course we measure that. Eventually, you could measure what's your ratio of automated resolutions, whether they're through a bot, articles, or a bot combining a language model. So everything is measured, like you saw in the statistics dashboard, and of course you can, like in any other model in IT Care Center, you can build your own custom reports, schedule them, customize them, and of course, based on these measurements and insights, you can improve your model and your customer experience. So definitely, it will reduce the number of tickets, but it will just move it from human intervention to automation, and that's of course our ultimate goal. another question about multi-language. So first, IT Care Center, again, I'm just answering here, not in a generic way. The platform is multi-language. That means that every single either widget, either every single function that you will add within any place is translatable. Just for illustration, we'll get one of our templates and then try to configure here multiple features. And within each feature, of course, we'll get a translation option, so we can get every feature to be translated to multiple. And of course, there are out-of-the-box translations. So language models, that depends. So that language models are, of course, OpenAI provides the web search as a language transparent. It supports multiple languages. And again, not all languages are supported. In addition, our training model can of course use LLM to do the translations for you. So if you have a knowledge article, prior to the automatic training that we do with Azure OpenAI, we can train it in both languages. So that, of course, will improve, because if the user will ask the question in, let's say Arabic or Hebrew, and obviously if the language model will automatically go to the web search before it utilizes the knowledge article, if it's not translated to multiple languages, right? So what we do, just a simple step of automation, before we upload our training data into Azure OpenAI, we translate using Azure OpenAI the knowledge articles. And that, of course, provides, in addition to the layout and all the other translation facilities, will provide a context that is actually language transparent to the end user. Obviously, the answer, of course, can be pre-configured. Every user will have his default language, and the answer, of course, will be within his specific language, whether it's, again, Chinese or Hebrew or whatever. And again, the main thing here is, again, to get better answers from the language model is to train it. But for that, what we do, we use LLM to translate our knowledge articles and then let it automatically train our private LLM model. Let's see, we have more questions. I think I covered them. Right, Sam? I just want to open it up to more questions, or maybe you have some summary, or maybe you have some questions for me.
No, all is clear, Jack. Thank you so much for such a detailed walkthrough and for showcasing the impressive features that are available in IT Care Center. So now that we've covered AI's evolution and seen some great examples of AI in action, it's time for our panel discussion. So again, for our attendees, thank you so much for putting your questions in the chat. So let's start off with this query from Osnin. What is the best example where AI made a measurable impact on service level or CSAT? Does anyone want to jump in regarding this matter?
Okay, so yeah, I'll take that. So again, as we say, of course, the basic to improve our support, of course, key success indicators is to start measuring it, right? So one thing we did not discuss, for example, is to improve, use Gen AI to improve our analytics, right? We haven't yet reached to that. There are a lot of investment that we do these days. We have, of course, again, I wouldn't call it traditional, but very advanced analytic embedded within our tool, so you can easily build your own dashboards. Of course, use the out-of-the-box one and enrich them, or with your data, use other connectors to bring more data. So let's say the fundamental dashboarding is of course the basic to measure our KPIs and our satisfaction goals. Once we do that, and we can improve it. So one thing AI can do, and we of course work on those features, is that we can do an ad hoc analysis based on either ASR or just the voice recognition, or just like I did an IM within my bot that will just generate who are the top 10 unsatisfied customers, right? Or recently, in the last 24 hours, who did reject all our tickets. And again, we can do that in a simple search within the system, but we'll let AI to generate a quick report based on our simple natural language, right? So if we can get faster those insights, we can handle them on time. The second thing is, of course, based on alerts. So we get, of course, a lot of escalations on predefined rules that we set. If it's about it's a VIP and it's about to bridge 2 hours, so we used to get them in advance, but now we can proactively say that before this SLA of this specific ticket is about to reach, not because time passed, but because it switched too many hands, and in that specific root cause or that specific classification, we've seen in the past that such tickets, when they start routing between more than different three groups, will bridge the SLA. So you'll get better alerts based on, of course, unrelational or non-predefined rules, like we do, of course, we did previously. You can get, of course, alerts on things that before they're past due, before they breach the SLA, and that, of course, will lead also to better customer satisfaction. And then that's, again, on top of what we started or tried to illustrate, which is the self-service experience, the knowledge-based utilization, the web search that is summarized into your chatbot, and of course, even your channel is, of course, more. You can do the same from your mobile. In the future, you could do that, of course, with the automatic voice recognition, not only with the typing an IM within the bot. We already have a Teams connector, so if you just do the same from your Teams, you will get, of course, all the language model responses. You will get even your approvals directly to your Teams, which is on your mobile. And again, better experience from all means.
Thank you for that, Jack. We hope that answers your question, Austin. So we have another question here from Mark, and perhaps Mikal would like to elaborate on her response. So what are some quick wins when implementing AI and customer service teams?
Sure. So I think we can talk about a few things. One would be cost reduction. I think having AI will probably make our support more efficient. It's going to be available 24/7. We wouldn't have our personnel wasting time on things that AI could do in seconds. So that would be one thing. Another quick win would be, I think, customer satisfaction, where a customer has a problem in the middle of the night and now they cannot log into their computer maybe. So they just go on that to that AI, and that will provide them a resolution right away, and they're not dependent on the human factor, and they can get help right away. Another thing I believe is consistency within service. So when AI provides the answers, they're going to be consistent. They're going to be based on the customer previous tickets. And it's always going to be the same thing, taking into consideration past interactions that we had with that customer.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mikal. And for our last question in the panel discussion, we have this query from Kevin, which I believe Naim has briefly answered a while ago, so perhaps he'd like to elaborate. So where do you think companies often go wrong when trying to implement AI in their customer service processes? Naim, you're on mute.
Yeah, it's a classic. Yeah, I think a lot of the time where companies go wrong is kind of applying, full-on solutions before analyzing where you can effectively apply AI. So oftentimes I always encourage customers to tackle low-hanging fruit, things like sentiment analysis, and even responses in line with your company voice, so you can have like a consistent company voice across the board, and then slowly building up the momentum to kind of have a full-scale implementation. So I think a lot of the time is applying the AI in areas that are not as effective, is kind of where they often go wrong.
Well said. Thank you so much, Naim. And after hearing and seeing everyone's presentations, I feel that I just got a free masterclass about AI and customer success management. Now, just to wrap up our session, I'd like to ask everyone about their final thoughts. So let's make this interesting. So for our panelists, if you had one key takeaway that you like our attendees to learn, what would it be and why?
So let me start. I think when an organization is using AI and when a person is using AI, it's a bit different. So my takeaway is if I were, for instance, in my personal life, if I were to write a love poem for my husband and it turns out terrible using AI, I think he'd still love me. But if a company uses AI in customer support and it gives bad answers, then I think there's a real trust issue. So I think customers should have trust. They should build their AI in a very cautious way. They should be confident of the change they're making and take into consideration that involving AI also means change management and making sure that people see the value that AI has and what it brings into support, and not to be scared that it replaces them.
So I think you're on mute.
Sam, you're on mute, but I'll take the next one. So my takeaway is, I would say, again, AI is all over, right? So keep in mind that you need to adopt it, right? But you need to adopt tools or platforms that you can control, and it's not a black box for you, right? You can either, again, all the terms may be a bit syntactic, should be syntactic accurate, but let's say if you either fine tune it or train it, it's not enough. You need to control it. You need to control what platform are you using, for who are you using it, whether it's sensitive information, keep it, of course, in your domain or your tenant, or again, not in any public place. So you can still have governance, security, and of course, still leverage its capabilities. That would be my 2 cents.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, it would be AI literacy is another key area to think about, and is as AI becomes more prevalent, understanding how it works, or at least at a basic level, is essential. It's almost like the internet adoption is quite a big transformation that's happening. So it's key that whether you're in marketing, HR, finance, you know how to work with AI, asking the right questions and challenging the outputs for it to become a part of your professional toolkit. And like has been said, it shouldn't be a black box. It should be transparent, accountable tool we all understand and use responsibly. I don't know if it's me, but Sam, your audio is not.
Can't hear you, Sam.
Yeah, while Sam is checking out the technical issue, I guess I'll take the lead. Yeah, what a way to end the webinar. Now, Mikhail and Jack, we heard that SITS in London is coming up. Please do feel free to invite our attendees to that event. And that's a wrap. So thank you to our panelists and attendees for taking the time to attend the Future of Customer Success Management, enhancing efficiency and experience with AI. So until next time, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we really hope to see you. That's it.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.